A lot of times I sat and thought that what if I do it? What if I don't do it? Should I do it? Will it be received? And it's like it's not about that. It's about if you really feel something in your heart, do it. Yo, yo, I think we're live. Let's get comfortable here. Welcome to the Walking Towards Light podcast. It is an honor to have you here. This is a place where you can learn, grow your consciousness, and be your best self. It is long overdue for me to make a podcast. And for my YouTube subscribers, I'm sorry. I've been gone for 7 years. And I have went through a lot of like self-realizations. I have went through a lot of changes and transformations through those 7 years. I know for like some of my people that still subscribe to me, shout out to all 16.5 thousand of you all that still stayed there and still holding it down. I know the other 5,000 dipped on me. It's okay. It's been 7 years. I can't be mad at you. But for all of my fans that stayed around and still subscribe, I hope you are able to see this and know that I am doing well and I am doing amazing. And I'm here to explain my first episode. I want this first episode to explain just my disappearance on YouTube and in that field, and to explain where I'm at now and why I wanted to come back with a podcast. And I want to explain just the reason why I stopped for the YouTubers, the YouTube subscribers that are wondering. First, at that time I was reacting and I was making like funny skit videos. I left my top viewed video up. It's the I forgot how many impressions I did, but it's the one guy 12 impressions, I think, or something like that. I'm gonna leave that on there. So if y'all want to go look at that video when I was like 21 years old, you can. But I was doing funny skits and I was doing reactions, and like I got to a point to where it was just like I knew I didn't want to be known as someone who just reacted to things. Like shout out to all the people who make reacting content, and shout out to all the people that doing a thing with it. Like I feel like if that's your thing and that's something that's working for you, that's great. But for me, I felt like I didn't feel like that was it for me. I felt like it was something more. It was something that was bigger. I just felt like I wanted to do something that could impact people more than reacting. Like if you look at my videos, I tried to, my older videos only, I left one up, but I had hid all of my other ones. But even in those videos, I always tried to, speak positivity into people and make sure everybody had a great day and stuff like that. But I think it just, I knew that there was something I wanted to do other than that. I just didn't know what it was. Like I didn't know what it was at that time. And I just reached a point to where it's just like I didn't want to react no more. I didn't want to make reaction videos. And it's so crazy at that time to be able to just be like, when it's doing so great, my YouTube was doing amazing. 17, I think I grew my YouTube account to like 17K subs in like over like 6 to 7 months of just hard work. I was making 3 videos a day. I was doing 3 reactions Monday through Friday, and I take the weekends off. And I was doing that consistently. And I was always just, locked in. But, I had to really think to myself of what it was, but still at that time, it wasn't making sense. I I didn't want to do that, but like I didn't know what else I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? So I reached like a point of like, being like stagnant. And I was just like, I was taking breaks, but then I come back, I would do this and I do that, so, and this was also in the midst of me, not finishing college and not knowing where I was going at that time. Like I started YouTube when I was in community college. When I was in community college, I should have had a water with me. I should have had a water bottle over here because I know I'm be talking a lot, but it was around the time when I was in community college, and yeah, that's when I had so much free time because community college, you don't have that many classes. You don't have that many classes, so it gave me a lot of free time to start YouTube. But uh, I just didn't end up finishing school, and after I was, I got out of that situation, I was just like, what am I going to do? And I remember, um, you know, just me doing a lot of self introspection and just trying to realize like what is my purpose. I'm asking myself that over and over again, like, God, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? What is my purpose? And it led me to reading a book called The Secret. And it just whew. And I'm not gonna speak on my spiritual awakening on this episode. We're gonna say that for another episode. That's a full podcast in itself. you know. So I'm not gonna go into too depth with my spiritual awakening process. We're gonna say that for another podcast, but yeah, that led me down a spiritual path. Once I read The Secret, it's just it led me down into a path of just really wanting to know more about life and myself and what am I doing here. And through that journey, it led me to a real love and passion for it. The true passion that I have is growing, learning more about myself, life, life and death. Like space. What that term is, as above, so below, is just like everything. I always tell people I want to know everything above earth, under earth, in earth, all around. Like I'm that type of person. I'm so curious about life and so curious about everything that's involved in it. And I always had a spiritual inclination, to just wanting to know what's going on. And on that journey, it just led me to not to actually getting that feeling of this is what I'm here to do, to help people, to be of service. It's like once you find your passion and your purpose, your job is to figure out how it could be of service to others. And I've reached this point where, okay, I love this, and I know when I'm around other people, I see how it's affecting just by my self-awareness, just by my, love of just being, just really locking into just spirituality in itself and just consciousness, and and how much it has affected my life. It changed my life in amazing ways once I start being more aware, once I start adapting meditation, once I start really digging in deep, to just into consciousness and what it means to be conscious and what it means to, be a spiritual being. And, it's I want to speak of this book right here. This book right here, The Alchemist. When I think about my journey, this book came to mind. This was one of the first books that I've read when I started my journey. It was The Secret. It was The Power of Now. It was The Alchemist. But this book right here, when we talking about my first episode, this is the first episode of my podcast. It's a new beginning, and it's like when I was thinking about that, through all the years, the 7 years of me being away, it's just like I realized that was my destiny. And the podcast idea for me came in probably like 4 years ago, but it just never made sense to me at the time. I was in my head, I always have to, it has to make sense for me to start doing something. It has to feel right. I'm big on my intuition. I'm big on listening to my heart. And it's so crazy. Like through these 7 years, I've been through journeys. I've been through different scenarios and experiences, and it all has led me into where I wanted to be. It's just like in the story, and he knew that he had a destiny. And from his circumstances, he followed his heart. He followed his intuition. And through that journey of finding his legend, he went through hurdles. He went through, different experiences. He had ups and downs. He fell in love, and none of those things stopped him to leading him to where he wanted to be, to get that treasure. But during that journey, he learned so much about himself. He learned so much about life until you know that quote. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey. And I think what led me to here is just like, everything that I've learned, everything I've experienced from relationships through meeting people, through, traveling, through all of these things was just connecting pieces for me to pick up the patterns, to know that this is what I'm here for. I get excitement out of, talking about astrology. I get excitement about talking about the stars, the space, the galaxies. I get excited about healing. I get excited about mental health. I get excited about physical health and dieting and exercising and ways of just self-improvement. And it's like, I'm like, okay, like I love this. This is a passion of mine. When I talk to people, I feel good. When you meet somebody that is on the same wave length as you and the same frequency, it just feels good. I feel good. And I know when I talk about these things, and first of all, I'm one of these people that can yap all day about it. If you give me the space to yap about spirituality, you're in for something. You're in for a long ride. But, I try to spare people these days, but no, it's just like, I feel like every sign has led me to this point, to be a beacon of light, to be a vessel, from the universe, from God, and to speak my truth, to bring awareness, to spark the light that's inside of you and everyone. We all have the same spark of God in us, same spark of the universe, whatever you want to call it, the ultimate, the source, whatever you feel comfortable with. We all have that same spark. So it's like, I feel like I'm one of them people that can help you see that. And I want to, and that's the whole thing. And I feel like my intentions of this podcast is to, while we all on this journey back to the light, I want to be a part of that change. I want to be a part of that growth in consciousness, to where we can help each other. We can help each other have better experiences. We can help each other be more compassionate, be more loving to your neighbor, to, the humanity, for where, not even in just that broad sense, but just even in your relationships, even the way you look at life, even the way your perception is about life. I want to be a part of the helping of that, and just the growth of just us as a society, and just as humanity. I feel like there's just a real craving that I had to be of service, to be of help, to help other people, because my life is amazing. Every day for me, I try to make the most of it. I am the happiest every day. Now, sometimes I have my times too now, but I know how to work through that, and get through it. But majority of the time, I am having a great time in this experience, in this life experience, in this human experience. I really don't take it for granted. And I just want to be that soul to help other souls, And that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to tell y'all, like, it's important for me to tell y'all, to tell y'all pretty much of what the show will be about. It's going to be, oh, like this show, we're going to talk on every subject from astrology. Astrology is one of the loves of my life. I really feel like I will be a, I really feel like I will be a astrologer one day in my life because I love astrology. But astrology, meditation, ancient civilizations, from whatever chakras, what else? Energy, matter, junk DNA, aliens, galaxies. Uh, it don't matter. Human connection, love, frequencies, Fibonacci sequence, golden ratio. From everything I can't think about, numerology. I can keep naming them off the top of my head. What else? What else will we talk about? It's so much to come in my head, but not only will we be touching on these subjects and and having great beautiful conversations, we will also have beautiful guests on. I feel like I want to bring wonderful, open-minded souls on here that could bring value to the world as much as I'm trying to drop off gems, to drop off them nuggets for you, for you can, and that's the thing too, is like I want to talk to people that's on this journey as well, and everybody that you talk to can give you something that you can take with you. Everybody is like a human book, and I want to have these conversations with other people that can bring that knowledge and wisdom to the world as much as I want to. And so it's not only going to be just me. I would try to have guests as much as possible. But if I can't get a guest, it would just be me. We just gonna be chilling together. It's just gonna be a real intimate thing. But I would love to have guests on. I have aspirations to have wonderful guests. Like I have my dream guests. I definitely have my dream guests, and we gonna make that happen. We definitely gonna make that happen. But yeah, the show is. This has been something I've been working on, and this probably is going to be the most proudest thing that I've done for myself and really followed through. A lot of times I sat and thought that, what if I do it? What if I don't do it? Should I do it? Will it be received? And it's like it's not about that. If you feel it here, you have to follow. And I'm one of them people now to where I literally don't want to live in this lifetime with regret. With regret. I don't want to leave this plane with regret. So everything I have that soul urge to do, I'm doing it. Now, speaking on soul urge, also I moved to another city. I once lived in Memphis, Tennessee. Shout out to all my Memphis people. That's my hometown. I'll forever love Memphis. That was Memphis. I feel like the places that you live holds and hones different energy. And Memphis was so much of a learning curve for my soul, to where I went through so many transformation that was important for my soul. I can look back and be like, oh, Memphis was kind of tough. But in hindsight, I needed to go through them things in my hometown to grow myself, to learn, to go through those experiences, to see myself in different aspects, in different forms, to grow me into the man that I am today. And it was good. It was, like I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for Memphis and the time that I was there. Super grateful and appreciative of all my family and friends there. Shout out to my friends. Shout out to my mom. Shout out to my sisters. Shout out to my dad. All my friends in Memphis. I love y'all, by the way. I'm going to give y'all a shout out right now. I love y'all. All my Memphis people. I love y'all. But yeah, it was time. It was time for me to move this year. And moving is hard. You know, making a big change is hard, but it's like I said, I have just been living. I don't know if my image got super bright. The sun is beaming. Shout out to the sun. The sun is beaming like crazy today. We love the sun though. But yeah, I just been one of them people, you know, really that has really been following my word. You know, like just really been going with just my heart and following it. If I feel it, like this year, beginning of this year, I really felt it so hard that like I was like, yeah, it's time for me to move. If I felt like if I didn't move this year, I would have stayed in Memphis forever. I would have stayed in Memphis forever. And that's one thing that I felt, and I was like, no, I gotta move, regardless of hold up, 1 second. What's going on here? What's going on here? My computer started going to sleep. Don't go to sleep, buddy boy. uh, but yeah, I feel like if I didn't make the move, I would never moved. You know, I feel like that would have been. I feel like that wouldn't have been a big mistake if I decided to stay. And shout out to Astrocartography too. We gonna speak about that. I hope when I go to Miami, I get to speak to. Um, it's somebody named Stephanie. She's an astrocartographer, uh, cartography specialist, I would say. And I hope we can have that conversation. But shout out to astrocartography. Um, if you understand, you will understand. If you know, you know. But my Pluto line was going straight through Memphis, and that just Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. And if you understand Scorpio, you understand that energy is very transformative. That energy is very challenging, you know, for your soul and your spirit. And the fact that my Pluto line was going straight through Memphis, that was just like, yeah, it's time for me to go. So I wanted to go somewhere to where the energy was lighter and the energy was better and cooler, you know. And Charlotte was just a place that I felt like matched my energy at the time. You know, like it's Charlotte is beautiful. I've been loving my time in Charlotte. Shout out to Charlotte. You know, you got the mountains, you got the beach 2 hours away. The energy, the vibes, the things. It's so much going on here. There's so many things to do here in Charlotte, and I'm actually 100% happy that I made that move. Like it's no regret in my bone of the move that I made to Charlotte. I'm super grateful. I need some water. 1 second for a water break. 1 second. For some water. Yeah. We back. I need some good water. You need that H2O. Hold on. I've been talking a lot. You did. So, if you enjoyed, I think I speak on everything. I hope I speak. I said speak. I hope I spoke on everything. I spoke on my intentions of the podcast. I hope y'all enjoyed this podcast. Make sure, because I did finish what I said about Charlotte, right? I love Charlotte. I love everything in Charlotte. I love my time in Charlotte. This is my first episode, so spare me, y'all. But make sure y'all are subscribed to my YouTube channel. Make sure you can find me on every podcast platform. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe for all my people on YouTube. It is very important for y'all to show love. Like, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Ain't nothing changed. Now, for all my YouTube fans that used to be there when I was there, when I was 21, I used to be like, make sure you hit that like button. You got to hit the like button and subscribe to your boy. This is going to be, I hope to be one of the best podcasts out because, man, I really am very intentional about this podcast, you know. And I really hope that it shifts consciousness. I hope that it helps shift people, just way of thinking and perception to be compassionate, to be more loving to others. And I feel like the more that you change your perception, and I was supposed to end off right there, but we still chatting. Once you change your perception, you change your life. And because life is really all about how you see things. It's really all about how you see things. If you change, if you really sit there and think about your belief systems and you think about how you see life, you will notice that half of the things that you are creating is coming from you based off the things that you put your focus on. So I'm focusing on love. I'm focusing on growth. I'm focusing on being my best self. And I want you to do the same. I want everybody to listen to this podcast to do the same. And that's the point of this podcast. For everybody can be their best self. And, cause ripples. Cause ripples. Because when you change yourself, everybody else starting getting affected. Everybody else started getting affected around you. So if you want to change the world, you got to change yourself. And I think I'm going to end that podcast on that. Is that 30 minutes? We at 32 minutes right now, I think, of the pod. I think, no, we like at 27 minutes. I sleep want to hold it out some more just to get to 30 minutes. Y'all gonna get these 30 minutes. Y'all getting 30 minutes of this podcast. But yeah, look, we are all on this journey back to the light. Let's make each other experiences easier. Let's make each other lives more peaceful. Let's continue to grow. Let's be better as a humanity and as a people. Thank y'all for listening. This is the first podcast. I was about to cuss, but I didn't cuss. This is the first podcast of the Walking Towards Light podcast. Thank y'all for listening. What a great time. I'm out, baby. Let's go. Let's go.